Hi, Rachel. This is Eric Brummel, and you asked a question about the necklace with the amulets on Facebook. And I said I would make a video that would I'd talk about your question because it wasn't a short, much easier to just sit down and have a conversation with you about it. So I sat down, wrote out a couple of pages of things, small pages, this size rather than this size. And but I'm going to go back a little bit to like an earlier version. So I didn't start with that piece. That piece was an accumulation over years. So let me show you what I started with. And I put them on some jewelry displays here. Let's see if I can get it that it's not washed out completely. That looks okay. So this one up on here is a prosperity amulet, and it has a coinage bezel. This is the love amulet. This is addiction, and this is a 1941 Mercury dime, which is a contact point for me. So I began with these guys, I think, or maybe this one. It's been a long time since I've been wearing them. And but I'll tell you a story. When I had just what I'm showing here, I had broken up with my girlfriend at the time and was just really suffering. And I couldn't sleep, lying awake at night. And my mind, my brain, my beta brain was just going nuts. And so I got up, put this on, and instantly it just dropped to nothing. So I stayed that way for a while. And then I went to bed again and I could sleep. So that was a very strong indicator to me of the effectiveness of these for cutting out the internal chatter. Then, so I wanted to say it's a progression for me. It's not. I didn't jump in with the piece that you commented on, and so I'm going to put this aside, and then I'm going to pull out the one here, and I took it off so you could get a better look at it. So this piece, I because it was tight and I really needed to get an extra inch on the chain, I took that one off and I turned it into this. And there are 6 amulets on here. They're an African glass trade beads and hedgehog beads. And so the list of the amulets on here, there's 6. One is the double black diode. One is the lucky amulet. One is the quantum witch amulet. One is the Bodhisattva in training amulet. One is the coin hunter amulet. And one is the wormhole amulet. So I will leave you to look up the individual ones on Brain Power. That's BRANE-POWER.com, because there's a catalog of amulets there, and you can read the descriptions of the attributes that each amulet encourages, possesses, assists you with. And I'm going to talk a little bit about some of them, just personal experience. So I'm not going to go into the full list and that. I'm just going to say what's been some impact for me. And I'm not going to point them out. Again, your recognition, that's up to you. But the Bodhisattva, I'll start with the Bodhisattva in training amulet. That is one I just did not want to buy. There, like I am, there's 2 halves of me, one that really seeks to be of service and one that just says, leave me alone. So the Bodhisattva in training was really pushing on this leave me alone character. But finally, I said, okay, this is really what's up. I mean, it was so in my face that I needed to get it. So I got it. The next one I'll talk about is the luck amulet. Now, this one, when it came up, it's like, this idea about if you got if I had any luck at all, if it weren't for bad luck, there'd be no luck at all. Well, I can't say I really had that, but I had that for a while. And, you know, like what chance favors the prepared mind? So if you have a device which cuts out your static interference, that your beta brain, your mental, chatter in your ear, in your head, um, talks to you about being unworthy and blah, 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 blah. Well, maybe the luck amulet kind of just shuts some of that up so that when some things show up, you can avail yourself of those. Okay, then another one is the Quantum Witch. That's probably the most one of the most purchased ones, and my experience is that so I was going through a period where I had a lot of you know I had like serial nightmare dreams. I was almost like entering into a parallel world because each night I would go into it, it would take up where it left off before, and it progressed. And I don't know, dark alleys and just really, Green Hornet, Batman kinds of things. And, I was always a superhero, but man, I was tired of it, just tired of it. So EJ suggested you keep the Quantum Witch near on your bedstand and for better sleep. And boom, gone. So peaceful sleep, REM sleep, just feeling refreshed, um, worth it at any price, basically. All right, that's three of them. Then my most recent three acquisitions. This used to be a configuration of three amulets. Three amulets builds charisma. Four amulets gives you stability. Six amulets, time will tell. But anyway, the last three are double black diode, wormhole, and coin hunter. So I'll start with coin hunter because coin hunter, I do Zen coinology, and I love the idea of magic find, which is you come across something that shouldn't be there, and it's like it just lights you up because it's the kind of thrill of the hunt. It's the oh my god, look what I found. It's that kind of moment, and something's just placed in front of you for your use or to pass it along to somebody who does need it. So that's coin hunter. Um, Double black dialed. I don't know much about it. That, like I said, it's a recent one. It's grouped with others, so there is a spell stacking taking place. 1 + 1 = 3 sort of deal, where you get, I think, more than the sum of the individual parts. And then lastly, I'll talk about the wormhole. Now, the wormhole, um, I was feeling pretty good. I've always my Anea type is a fear type, and so I was at a place where I was functioning pretty well. Not that I typically don't, but I have my moments. And the wormhole is supposed to throw you into all these different spaces. I said, okay, I'm ready for this. I can go. I can manage what shows up in my world, not to control it, but to not be reactive as much, to basically allow things to be there and then to respond from a place of engagement, but not one of running away or bolting or cowering or um, grandiosity, or a number of different ego responses. It was just like, okay, let's go for it. Let's see if this shamanic training can, how it's been going. So I got the wormhole amulet. So that's a little bit of a history of how this came to be. It was a progression. One of the things you'll notice if you wear something like this out in public uh, is you're going to gather a lot of attention. People have never seen anything like this, and they want to know about it, whether they're a jeweler or they are science geek, or if they just are just stopped by the how you are wearing it, because it will definitely affect how you present yourself in the world. Now I'm going to check my notes, see if there's anything substantial that I missed. No, that's good. Better to, if you got any more specific questions, please don't hesitate to ask. You can ask the same way, or yeah, and I'll get back to you. But thanks for asking the question. And like one of the questions was, how much would a piece like this be? And when I looked at it, it's about $3,000, which is uh, to me completely reasonable for what is here and what it's done in my life overall over a period of time. There are other amulets available for more specific things like healing, um, working with the angelic healing ceremony, working with past life coaching. So there are other things that are specifically designed too for certain spaces. Anyway, that's I think I'll cut it off there. And thank you for again for the question. I hope what I've been saying has been useful. All right. Good night.